Okay, hi. We're ready to go. Okay, so all of our classes are going to be pretty much the same structure. We're just going to do a chart, and we have to go through each of the stages of the chart. And really, when you're trying to interpret a chart, you're not trying to define a person. You're trying to tune into the different areas of the psyche of the person. And you want to have done a thorough job. So by doing the first 15, by doing these steps, these 30 steps, you're covering a thorough assessment of chart. There's other things you can add and you may add later, but this is enough to get a thorough basic factor of understanding a chart and of navigating through of what you can see, what can be discovered from it. And astrology is interesting because you can know a little bit. You can know, it's like a language. If you know 100 words, you can get by a little bit. But if you know 1,000, you can get by a lot more. And the more you develop your literacy, the more capacity you have for it. So we've done the really in-depth work with the planets and the signs in each of the categories, planets and the houses, each of the categories, planets and the aspects in each of the categories, and putting them together. So we've covered the deepest things. Now we're going to look at a bit, we got to look at a bit of the overview, look at it, and get some of the point totals and get some of the other factors in on the chart. So we've organized it. So, okay. So for just the first pattern thing is always, we're going to do, we always check the pattern type first. I'm just going to put this here. So when we're looking at the pattern type, well, I drew the extra lines in so you can see the outline of the pattern. If you're going to do it on your own chart, just use a pencil line to fill in this so you can see the shape, the outline of the pattern. Then it's a lot easier to do. Just the lines between the planets, not to the angle, not to the angles, not to the midheaven, just between the planets. Okay, so this pattern type is a seesaw pattern type because it's got two fairly empty areas that divide the chart in half. There's two planets on one side, and the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 8 on the other, 2 and 8. Yeah, 2 and 8 on each side. So this is, and when you look at it, you see this is the pattern. It's a seesaw type, and it's going back and forth between two sides, and the two sides happen to coincide with above the horizon and below the horizon. So one half is her to herself, the other half is her to the world around and to other people around. So you see the pattern, that's it. It's you want it to be there because you see you'll start to it's the great starting point. So with the seesaw chart, I'm just going to read it. 2 planets on the one side with 8 on the other. That's this case. 3 with on one side, 7 on the other, 4 one side, 6 on the other, 5 and 5. There must be 2 empty areas that divide a chart in half. You draw a line through the 2 empty areas across the chart. Going through the center, both areas must be larger than the sextile. Okay, so and we have the seesaw type is sensitive to both sides of any situation. You'll be continuously challenged to empower one side or the other. As soon as one side predominates, the other will make demands. You live in a world of polarities and conflicts. You are capable of a vast understanding, but too often waste your energies by being incorrectly aligned. Pull this way, pull that way, in between. So you know, it seesaws back and forth. Okay, so you don't have to waste the energy, but it's always difficult to live up to exactly one's beliefs or one's understanding. So, okay, I'm going to pull this down here for now. So our next step is the moon phase. Now, when we get to the moon phase, Just looking at the aspects between the moon. You look across the chart, it's going clockwise, it's going counterclockwise from the sun. So it's on the waxing half. It's going from, just look at the order of the signs, it's going from Leo, the moon's in Virgo. It's moving up and around that way. So this is the waxing, it's a waxing moon, and it's more than 45 degrees apart. It's between 45 and 90 degrees. So you have the waxing crescent moon. Okay, now so again, we're just going to read. I don't want to spend too much time on this level at the first few things, but I want you to get comfortable with doing this. So you just boom, boom, here it is. This phase begins with the crescent moons and ends as the half moon arrives. Moonlight is increasing as is the need to do your own thing. There's still much darkness surrounding this rising light, but the sheer fact of her presence and a growing brightness sheds much hope. There's a struggle here to replace the old ideas with new ones. You are constantly being challenged to reach out beyond your present achievements. You need to prepare yourself for more growth and advancement, not less. It's important that you rely on yourself more than on others around you. You must continue to strive towards your own goals and to avoid dissipating your energy by going in too many directions. Be true to yourself. So you instantly here at this point, you see, oh, there's a struggle between the seesaw going both ways and the challenge of the new moon, or this waxing crescent moon, which happens to be both on one side, on the subjective side of the seesaw. And the challenge again is not to go too many directions, not to dissipate your energy, to be true to your own self. You're capable of genuine clarity, and you must be prepared to work hard to maintain it. When problems arise, you must avoid taking the easy way out. Okay, 1 second. If you want something done, do it yourself. Do not become dependent on others, especially family members. You are struggling to break out of the mold. You are striving to be more free. When you find that you are holding on to the past, realize that you are diminishing yourself. Let go. Do not hold on. You must struggle to find your own direction and life purpose. Family concerns might try to hold you back or impede your independence. When this happens, take care of the things that must be dealt with and get back to your own path as soon as possible. You must develop autonomy, even if you are not encouraged to do so. You will be continually challenged to adjust your lifestyle. To strengthen yourself, you could improve your daily routine. Get rid of bad habits and strive to eat well, sleep 8 hours, get regular exercise. A healthy foundation will give you much more buoyancy and resistance to inertia. You'll be better able to advance on your path. It is important for you to believe in yourself and to hold on to your own dreams. You can easily be hurt or let down by others. Do not count points. Revenge is hollow. You must hold true to your own vision and strive to actualize it. Protect your clarity and your innocence as much as possible. Try to get away from the bad or lazy influences. You tend to lack discrimination and could get caught in complicated, self-diminishing situations. Align yourself with reliable, worthy people. Do not run from challenges. Okay, so it's a lot to take in at once, but you just really, we're trying to relate that against the seesaw, which tends to go both ways and can be misaligned. And here again, it's showing the alignment that's needed, but also the struggle to move forward rather than backwards. Okay, so that's just a simple. Okay, I'm gonna get this. Okay, moon phase. I'll take the moon phase out. So when you do these, you just want to reflect on them a bit and just pull them together a little bit. Just seeing that connection between the moon phase saying break away from the past, go forward, and the seesaw saying, oh, there's two ways. It's putting the emphasis on one side of the seesaw. So it implies you're always going to be have to pulling yourself back, go do your own thing. I get pulled that way, coming back, and this is the emphasis of it. So from here, we just get to the overview, and the next point is the sun, moon, and ascendant. We're just going to do a general view of the sun, moon, and ascendant, and kind of see the categories and the points that it means. It's kind of a brief run through of what we're just going to do with all the planets, but this is, you're trying to think, how would you get along with this person? What's the person? Just trying to get a sense of, here you have a Leo. You have the noble, proud, playful, dramatic Leo. With the Virgo moon, with the fussy, picky, meticulous Virgo moon, and the very independent Gemini rising. So when you look at these three, it's, if you look at they're all in the, let's see, Gemini's daylight increasing, the other 4 points are nighttime increasing, but they're all three are in the daylight is greater. So this basically means my way or the highway. I'm doing this way. Don't tell me how to do things. Don't tell me what to do. Watch me, applaud. Don't instruct me. Don't tell me. So this is, you get this just from the sun, moon, and ascendant. You see this independent person. You know, and you think with a bubbly need to communicate, but and there might be a lack of patience or impatience because of the Virgo moon and the fussiness or the meticulousness. Okay, we got mutable, fixed. So there's no cardinal. You don't see a driving person. You see a determined and adaptable person. You see the fire, the earth, and the air. There's not the water, so you don't see. There's a practical side, there's a communicative side, and there's the proud side. So just look at the sun, moon, and ascendant, but you're getting the sense, not so much the sympathetic person, more the showy, dramatic, meticulous, curious, restless person. Okay,